It's Table Talk with Glenda and Joe. He's here.
Howdy doody.
We're here. We thought we'd talk about kids and grandkids tonight. Just funny little things that happen, or personalities or something. He's playing with his phone. Instead, will you quit playing with your phone, please?
I'm just twirling it.
No, but it's distracting.
Oh.
I used to do all kinds of distracting stuff. Probably still do. Okay. Where do we start? Angela, our oldest.
Always had a smile when she was a kid.
Yes, she did. She used to wake up in her crib with a smile. And she's still a day person. She's very much a morning person. And I'm very much a night owl. So I had to go against type when she was little. Because I had to get up. And then Tony, he was just always going.
He was hyper.
Yeah, he was very hyper. But he was sweet. People don't always notice Tony's sweetness because he's always got to have some activity going or something he's doing. And it's hard for him to slow that down. He's getting into his later 40s now. So that has changed quite a bit. But anyway, but he could have fun. He could get mad, and as soon as the little whatever was over, he was off to having fun because he forgot he was mad.
Yep.
And Nina, more like Joe, much more like Joe.
Quiet.
Quiet, takes it all on. Very, very tender. She had very tender feelings. If she even thought I was going to be mad at her, she would start crying and run to her room. And she's just sweet as could be. She had her orneriness, believe me, she did. And she was kind of, well, I mean, she could say things that just shocked you. And later on, you'd find out it was some kind of something out of a movie. But she had a head that understood things. Still does. She still does. And one time, she'd been sitting there watching a movie. And she said something, and I told her, now, wait a minute, little. And she ran out on the front porch. This was when we were on the acreage. I said, you want me to put pepper on your tongue? I was kidding, of course. She says, I'll do it. So she went in the kitchen, and she got the pepper, and came out, and she put a little pepper on her tongue. It didn't last long. I had no intention of putting pepper on her tongue. It was just something I was saying, and she was being a little smart aleck. I don't think she ever did that again. Oh, but she wouldn't admit that it hurt. It did, but she wouldn't admit it. I don't think it's been so long ago, I don't even remember. Oh, kids, they keep you in stitches, unless you're getting them in stitches. I mean, Tony was always in stitches or braces or something. He was a wrestler, and, well, when he was in junior high, he went out for football, and I wasn't so concerned until when I went to one of his games, and it said NG by his name, and I asked somebody sitting there beside me, I said, what is NG? I've never heard of that position. And they said, it's the nose guard. I said, what do they do? They're the first one down the field that doesn't give a hoot if their head gets broken. And I thought, they could have said this many ways, but I'm the mother. And it's like, my brain, kid's brain's inside that skull. Oh, kids. But he got hurt in the scrimmage. He got his knee knocked out. Well, it still would buckle on him, but he went out for track. And as long as it didn't buckle at him, he was pretty fast. Oh, golly. And then he got his hand stepped on in wrestling practice one time.
Where did he dislocate his shoulder or his elbow?
That was an Adams. Yeah.
Wrestling?
That was, something you don't want to see again. Anyway.
Was that wrestling?
Yes. He was wrestling above his weight.
Okay.
He said he'd done that a lot of times, but he always had to try and push farther than he should. We have 13 beautiful grandkids.
One great-grandchild.
And what?
One great-grandchild.
Oh, one great-grandchild.
I think I'm counting them all.
Let's see, let's not start with accounting. We always get mixed up. Anyway,
We'll just say 13.
13 or 14. We'll just give it in that area.
Yeah.
And one great-grandchild. We know we got that.
Yep.
My daughter's my daughter's kids, my oldest one's kids. Her daughter was over here one day and she says, "Mom just tells us that we spoiled her." And I said, "I think you guys probably did." Now she did have a little trouble with Delson because he could find where the Christmas presents were hidden every time. So they started bringing them to our house. He was a little snoop then, and he finally kind of outgrew so, well, they quit hiding him at home, and so he was out of luck then. But Felicia's very single-minded. Well, not single-minded in the sense that, but she knows where she likes to be, and she knows what she wants to do at that particular time, and that's the way it is. You know? When she was in kindergarten, we can't make her do what we want her to do. And Angie says, "Well, that's Felicia." She graduated very well. She did very good, and she wasn't being a problem. She's always been a little homebody. She likes to be home. She's not one that likes to get out and just run.
They got 3 wiener dogs, so that keeps her
Oh,
busy.
yes. There are 3 dachshunds.
Yeah.
And I kept wanting to see if I could get them to bring one over for me to babysit or something, but they wouldn't do it. I think he has something to do with that.
No, I don't.
I'm not supposed to have dogs except the very expensive kind that don't shed. And they're very expensive. And they tend to have some health issues. So
Then you got to take them out to the bathroom when it's cold. And you can't do that.
no. Well, and you don't like cats.
No. We tried that.
We had one very, very lovable dog for years. Noisy, yes, but we loved her dearly. And after she passed, she was what, about 13 or 14?
Something like that.
Now our son, he's got the population of the grandkids.
Yeah.
They have, oh my Lord.
We have 6 adult grandkids.
Yes, we do. Okay, Wade and Shy and Jay are the 3 of the joint family. And then there is Tommy, Sandra, Deanna, Helen, Ashlyn, no,
Andy.
Andy, and Ashlyn.
Yeah.
I can't do that very well. So, but they are so lovable, and they just love Grandma and Grandpa.
And from Tommy on down, they're between a year or maybe 2 years apart.
Pretty much.
2 years is the most.
Yeah. Well, between Deanna and Helen, is it that long? Or is it longer than that, maybe? I don't know.
It could be.
But all I know is my parents had 2 sets of 3 kids. The 3 oldest and the 3 youngest. No, there were 6 of us, but I've always kind of seen it that way because being the first part of the first 3, we took a lot of the heat off of the younger ones. By the time that 3rd or 4th kid gets here, you're so tired of being the bad guy and saying no so much when you want to say yes much more, that you just kind of let a lot more stuff go. But anyway, Mom used to kind of panic. And they say I did too, so I'm not saying I'm any better. I was riding my horse one time, and I told you, we grew up in the sticks and all of these stories, yes. I was riding my horse, and our other farm that's the one that they ended up having to sell, but it was about a half mile down the road. And I got on top of her and we rode down there, and the rain broke. And
Started raining?
no, the rain.
The rain broke.
You knew that. The rain broke. You goof. Why don't you tell some of your shenanigans?
I don't know any.
You had a lot of them. He's always played this innocent. And then I talked to his family. He wasn't so innocent.
Yes, I was.
He was just sick a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, my horses, and I do have an obsession, or did, over when it came to my horse, I would do anything for that horse, even if it meant that I got her, that I wasn't in such great shape. But what happened was he went down, there was this embankment, and down below it was a drive. And there was a little grove of trees there, and he knew that. But I wasn't in control, he was. At that point, I was not in control. I was trying to calm him, but it wasn't happening. And he went down over that embankment and did a 90-degree, and I went that way. It was the law of inertia, and I just kept going. Landed on my back, on the middle of my back. Knocked the wind out of myself. Once I caught it, he was right down by the corral, and so I just took a hold of his one good rein and walked home, and Mom insisted on taking me in for x-rays. So she called the doctor, and we went up and he checked my back out, and I came out okay. Oh, you told that one about your uncle pulling that trick on you guys that once. I think you already did that one.
Yeah, can of worms on his head.
Yeah, scared the heck out of him.
Peeking in the windows.
Rainy, wasn't it dark?
It was dark and cloudy and windy, kind of stormy out.
Yeah, so perfect for a prank.
Yeah.
His Uncle Norm, he was an ornery one.
Yep.
And he'd come over with this, I guess, this is how he tells it. You tell it.
He was walking down the street when we was coming back home from fishing. It looked like a man with at my age, it looked like a man with a top hat. Walking down the street, and we was going, who the heck is that? And then he runs over behind a bush in our yard, just like, whoo.
Who hides in a bush that's good,
We got in the house, and we was looking out the window, and pretty soon we'd hear this tapping on windows, and My older brother got the 410 shotgun out
Ooh.
and went to the kitchen because he heard tapping back there, or the back door that he kept opening that back door and closing the screen door.
That part before. Is my hair, or is that just the look of the curtain behind me? No, it's my hair stick. Never mind. They're used to my hair being a mess.
Mine is.
You don't have enough hair for it to be a mess.
You too. I need a haircut.
He can. Look, I mean, yes, it can be messy. Yeah. He's still got curl in his hair.
When it gets long, it gets curly.
Yeah. You know, life is a lot of fun when you look back on the memories that.
I remember our neighbors, they had, in the summertime, they'd have bats come out of their chimney. And we'd take a hose, we'd spray them, and they'd dive bombs.
Well, you instigated that fight. Now, Deanna, my son's, we tried to get her to let me hold her, and she just screamed. She was horrified. I didn't get to see him too often, but it was a couple of different visits that went like that. And then one time when she was up and walking and got to choose when she was around me. And it wasn't long, and she was my shadow. Let's call it a night. Let's call it the end of the video. Love you all. Smile and wave.
Smile and wave.
There's yours.
Bye.
Share it. And we'll be back tomorrow and see whatever we're doing then. There you go.
That it?
That it.
Yeah.
Scoot it a little. Okay. It's Table Talk with Ginger and Joe. Ginger and Joe.